político tampoco.
No, oye, yo veo siempre tu programa, ¿no?
¿En serio?
Sí,
Pero me gusta, muchas gracias por
sí,
por
siempre,
contarme.
porque, o sea, me informo harto, me gusta.
Bueno, hoy día lo voy a hacer desde acá,
Ah, perfecto, ya.
por eso no me
Micrófono, por favor, para que escuchen allá.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vamos a empezar con el programa especial desde la inauguración de Bess del Desierto.
Bess is one of the most important projects in the history of Atlas in Chile. Okay. Good morning, everybody who is following us. This transmission, this special transmission from Atlas Renewable Energy. They're following us from different parts of the world, and we are more or less 100 kilometers northwest from Calama, specifically the Antofagasta region in Chile, because it is one of the most important days in the history of Atlas Renewable Energy, because we are inaugurating the first Bess standalone storage plant. I know when you hear about this concept for the first time, it's difficult to understand what's the benefit or what's the most important news about this. It's about a battery storage plant as opposed to the traditional ones that receive energy, for example, from photovoltaic panels or wind blades that are located in a nearby plant. This is a plant which receives energy directly from the interconnected system. That is the main difference. That's why this is standalone and doesn't need any other power plant that powers its batteries. It's used directly, energy is gotten directly from the system, and then they avoid something which is an issue for our country. Wasting energy. We will continue discussing this, and this is just the preamble to the inauguration of one of the most important plants in the history of Atlas, Bess del Desierto. And for the community where it's located, Maria Elena, is really important because it means employment, investment, and many other benefits, which is why I have Cristian Montero, who is the municipal administrator of Maria Elena, who I want to welcome to this beautiful Thursday morning here in Bess del Desierto. Christian, thank you so much for being here with us in this transmission from Atlas. Thank you so much for the invitation. We are really happy about this investment. We know about the challenges of renewable energy, so we are really, really happy that the facility is here and we are leading this inauguration as well. And then, which are the benefits that this brings for the municipality and the Maria Elena people, that this investment has been made, and that we can discuss something discrete about Maria Elena, lots of photovoltaic plants for this project. This is very important. This is an under explored area. There are many photovoltaic plants centrals being installed, and the jobs generated and the investment generated are important. We are really open to this kind of investment in our territory. And this is about the municipality which is in this kind of investments. And yes, obvious, of course, this is a strategic location for generation of solar energy. I imagine that many people who live here, children who grow looking at this development, they can say, hey, I'd be interested in working on this and study to continue fostering such an important industry for our area. Yes, and it's also the jobs of the future. I mean, renewable energies are here to stay. This is the first of many plants with more and more advanced technology, so there are innovation issues that are really attractive for us as a municipality. Cristian Montero, representative and municipal administrator in Maria Elena, thank you so much for being in this special Atlas transmission. Have an excellent day, and this is beautiful, not just because of how sunny, but also because of how special it is, and for being with us today. And okay, friends from Atlas, I'd like to tell you that the Minister of Energy, Diego Pardo, is already here with us. He has to come to this area really often because there are many developments in different kinds of energies. Everything for the entire year. Okay, so and this storage battery development, this goal, actually the periods are now shorter, and this is really that we are appreciating, because please stay tuned. Okay, now we're going to start the ceremony, and we are going to continue interviewing more people from Bess del Desierto.
Perfecto. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias a usted.
Okay, friends, we're still here at Bess del Desierto. The plant being inaugurated by Atlas Renewable Energy, and I am here with the CEO of the company, Carlos Herrera, who will give us a much more detailed explanation about the most important parts and why this is such an important milestone for the company. Carlos, thank you so much for being with us. Okay, I'm happy. It's a beautiful day. We are having so many people. The Minister of Energy is already here. I said it, but we want to hear it from you internally. Why is this so important? Okay, so this is really important because of one reason, that the important challenge of this industry, for so many years has been how intermittent it is. That is, when the sun is out, right, or when the wind is blowing, sometimes it's not the exact time when you do need the energy. And this has been a very important challenge, has been our Achilles heel, if you will. And really, the solution for that is materialized with this type of initiatives. So, we are in a new stage of the industry, very interesting, by the way, where this gap between the generation and the demand for power is closed. And we can use this kind of technologies for to supply renewable energy in a predictable manner. And also, it's really important because storage plants, is something you have been developing, but in this case, the batteries are charged directly from the network, the grid. And the biggest issue most of the day when this electricity is usually wasted, because there are some blockages, because the grid just don't have enough. Instead of this being wasted, this energy can be stored and you can use it for charging the batteries for most of the day. Yes, we are actually taking some of the excessive burden and some of the moments of the day away and supplying energy in some moments of the day when there's not enough charge. And then prices can be a lot really high. So this plant brings a lot of efficiency into the system, and this is not just a problem that happens in Chile, and this is something that's happening in Brazil as well. I'm asking because it's an important Brazilian delegation, authorities, Atlas Brazil, even some journalists that are here to check this inauguration, because I understand they need to replicate this in Brazil and other countries as well. Absolutely, this problem we see here is being suffered by all countries that have lots of renewable energy generation. So these countries in Latin America, of course, but also outside at the global level, Europe, the United States, are also suffering from this problem. So the solution for that, most of the solution is the battery. And what Chile has done, and very well at that, they have developed a regulatory framework to incentivize battery investments. And this is what we want to prove to other countries in Latin America, to bring this technology to those countries. And I was actually discussing this, the government has even moved forward in terms of their goals for 2030 much earlier than intended because of these developments. Yes, I mean, the industry is changing completely. In all countries, there is a sort of a revolution, if you will, because of these batteries. So this is really interesting. Carlos Ferreira, Atlas CEO, thank you so much for being with us. And I presume you're really happy of being able to participate in an inauguration that's going to start very, very soon. Thank you so much, and stay with us because we will have more interviews in such an important day for Atlas.
Buenísimo.
Carlos.
Muchísimas gracias. Bueno verte otra vez.
Igualmente, lo mismo digo.
Gracias.
Amigos de Atlas, yo les conté que había...
Dear friends from Atlas, I told you the Minister of Energy was here, Diego Pardo, and he had to come here to where we're having our conversation so he can tell us, Minister, thank you for being with us. We are so happy to have you here with us in this beautiful day, and really happy that these milestones are being achieved in battery development and faster. Actually, yes, faster than expected. Hi everyone, how are you? And indeed, in our previous version of our long-term planning for, let's say, our facility, our goal was 2 storage capacity, gigawatt capacity for by 2030, and right now we have 950 megawatts, so almost 1 gigawatt. So when this starts operating, we are going to exceed 1 gigawatt, and most likely we are going to achieve the 2 gigawatt goal in January 2026. So it's almost 5 years earlier compared to our goal. Okay, and Minister and President Boric is in Brazil, and we have a Brazilian delegation because they want to be here in this inauguration. They want to see the technology. They came to visit us from Desert because they would like to take this and replicate this in Brazil. There is a lot of private collaboration, and also between the private industry and the government, the different governments as well. We're collaborating with Brazilian authorities, and they have yet to do part of the job we have done in regulatory parts, for example, payment per power, and also how these systems are coordinated and cooperated on. And they want to take advantage of the experience we have developed, and we are more than happy to do it. I mean, these electricity markets are essentially domestic markets. There is no international competition, so hopefully this can be developed as fast as possible in different parts of Latin America, so we can also have knowledge and learning density as robust as possible. And these batteries are powered directly by the grid, allowing us to reduce energy wastage. So this is an energy that provides stability to the system, and also circular economy, because otherwise it would be wasted energy, but it's not. It is stored here, and then it is used when it's needed most, which is during the night. Indeed, Chile does have a solar potential that is really big, and where we are, I mean, in the Atacama Desert, is a place that receives the most solar radiation and most source of sunlight per year. So, in both timelines, we have the most productivity of solar technologies. Now, as its name states, this solar technology only works 8 hours per day. So we need another technology solution so we can leverage all the capacity of our Atacama Desert, and the short-term storage through batteries is a key technology for us to leverage all of this potential. Just so you can have an idea, only in the Atacama Desert we have the capacity to supply 60 Chiles in terms of overall generation capacity. So 60 times the demand of the whole country could be supplied only with the solar potential from the Atacama Desert. Please send your regards to the Atlas people. Greetings and congratulations. This is a very beautiful project. I hope you can come here to Chile and see it. The Chilean desert is not just productive for clean energy, it's a very beautiful place also to visit, to sky gaze, and if you can, please come. We'll be more than happy to welcome you. Thank you, Minister Pardo, for being here with us in this beautiful Thursday in Maria Elena. Stay tuned because the inauguration is going to start soon, and we will have another conversation before the inauguration. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. My name is Eduardo Gullana. I am a journalist and also from the Fasta region, and it's an honor to be able to be a part as this energy transition in our country, and something as important as this. Before starting this ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you to please pay attention to the screen. We have a safety video for the facility. Thank you so much. Atlas welcomes you to Bess del Desierto. So you can enjoy the event safely, it's important for us to follow some safety essential regulations. During your stay in the project, we recommend that you wear sunglasses, long sleeved clothing, safety shoes, steel toed boots, and solar protection because you are in an industrial environment, so it's important to move safely, follow the indication from the local staff, and never go into restricted areas. In order to guarantee a safe environment for everyone, please consider the following indications. Please locate safety staff on the event, identify the emergency exits and safety areas, and also please look for the signage and evacuation routes. Respect the restricted areas and always follow the indications of the authorized staff. In case of emergency, follow these indications. Keep calm at all times and assess your environment. If you hear an alarm or you receive an indication to evacuate, go to the safety area which appears on the screen immediately. If you see someone who needs help, please inform the safety personnel. If you require medical care, go to the ambulance located next to the tent. If you require more health care, the closest healthcare facility is 30 minutes away in Maria Elena. Stay in the safe zone until you get new indications from the authorized staff. Safety is a commitment of all of us. Following these indications, we may make sure that each person here can work in a safe, controlled environment regarding any possible risks. In Atlas, your well-being is our priority. Okay then. So, together with welcoming you and thanking everyone who is joining us, both here from the largest standalone storage plant and the first independent large-scale Bess in the country, and everybody who is following us via streaming, which has been led by my colleague Nicolas Paut. And we want to welcome those who are joining us today. First of all, the Minister of Energy, Mr. Diego Pardo, thank you so much for being here. Also, the Secretary of Energy of Antofagasta, Ms. Daphne Pino, the Secretary of Economy of Antofagasta, Mr. Matias Muñoz, and also the Municipal Administrator of the Municipality of Maria Elena, Mr. Cristian Montero. Welcome. The representatives of trade unions from the energy sector that are here with us, strategic partners of this project, Mr. Leonardo Livetich, Development Manager from Copec, and Jack Gu, Vice President of Sales and Storage from Sangro, and also Atlas collaborators and representatives from the Maria Elena community that are here with us today. And I want to give my warmest regards to César Cortés, Coordinator of the Local Support and Care Program, Jaime Dominguez, Director of the Firefighters, and Sonia Menay, Chair of Mujeres del Salitre, Zoila Miranda, Chair of the Neighbors Association, Maria Elena José Manuel Plaza, member of the Atlas Working Group, and in the municipality, I'm Mr. Jorge Urquiola, Director of the Maria Elena Museum. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us today. I want to tell you that Bess del Desierto is an Atlas renewable energy power plant, 100% renewable energy generating company, which sets a new milestone integrating cutting-edge technology to supplement the variability of renewable energies. Bess del Desierto has a 200 megawatts installed capacity and 4 hours of discharge, and an 800 megawatt hour storage capacity, which will allow to store energy during abundance of sunlight and reinject it into the grid when we have a high demand. So, for us to see the perspective of the storage capacity of these batteries, it is similar to 2,500 electric buses on the public urban transportation with more than 500,000 kilometers of autonomy, which will allow them to go through all our country more than 100 times. Today, we are in the Maria Elena municipality, the Antofagasta region, precisely in the Sol del Desierto photovoltaic plant, which stores these standalone storage systems and which give us a beautiful view of what represents the growth of Chile, a huge leap in our energy trajectory, and also a new element for us to move forward regarding carbon neutrality. There were many people suppliers and contractors who made it so we could be here inaugurating Beth Desierto today. Many of them are here with us today, others are watching us via streaming, and also others through social media and in the press. This outcome of such a huge effort to start the day, I want to ask you to give a warm round of applause to all those people who, from their different positions, made Bess Desierto possible, and also, of course, the workers that are here today, who will please us to stand up so they can receive this warm round of applause. Please, give them a warm round of applause. Thank you so much for this great achievement. So then we are going to start our welcome remarks. So I want to give the floor to the co-founder and CEO of Atlas Renewables Energies, Mr. Carlos Ucho Barrera. Carlos, please. So good morning, everyone. I want to thank the authorities that are here today for being here with us, particularly the Minister of Energy, Mr. Diego Pardo, the local authorities, which there are many today. And thank you for coming, the representatives from trade associations from the energy sector, the Brazilian delegation who is also joining us, and also our partners, EMOAC, COPEC, Sangro, and also the Maria Elena community, and also the Atlas collaborators and all our guests. Thank you for coming. We are here to set a very relevant milestone, not only for Atlas but for Chile at a global level, because we are in a new stage in the energy sector. For decades, the biggest challenge for renewable energies has always been the same one. How can we convert intermittent resources such as sun or wind into on-demand available energy when it's needed the most? This has historically been the Achilles heel for our industry. And today, from the desert, with this plant, this is our answer to this challenge with facts. What is happening here today is not an isolated phenomenon. It is happening all over the world. The energy systems are changing. On the demand side, we see, for example, carbon-intensive sectors being electrified, now electromobility progressing, and the strong growth of energy demand powered by the rise of data centers. And also, all of this requires an energy supply source which is abundant and competitive. We know that renewable energies have proven to be the most competitive ones. But besides that, we need these sources to be predictable. It is not just about generating clean energy, but also managing it in a smart manner so it can be used when needed, following the needs of the grid. And that's where storage comes in. And that is where this project began. We capture solar energy during the day, we release it during the night, and we close this gap between supply and demand, which seemed impossible before, now became a reality. And it's also a scalable reality. This plant is not just the largest independent storage system in Chile and maybe in Latin America, but it is a keystone in the global transition towards a more flexible, resilient, and cleaner grid. With this project, what was a technical limitation now becomes a competitive advantage, where we can actually use all the abundant energy we have in the Atacama Desert. For us in Atlas, this is not just a starting. This is a starting point. The challenge is not just to prove that renewable energies work. Now the challenge is to be able to deploy them at the velocity that our planet requires. And this needs determination, long-term visions, and solid partnerships like the one we have with COPEC, who is going to be supplied by this plant. I want to acknowledge and thank the Atlas Renewable Energy team, whose commitment towards excellence has made it possible for this vision to be materialized. To the different teams at the company: engineering, development, construction, ESG, legal, operations, finance, communications, human resources, and so many others. Thank you. Thank you for all the effort, all the passion. Each of you contributed your knowledge, what you knew how to do with your commitment, and this sense of a meaning that characterizes us at Atlas. I want to thank our strategic partners, first of all, Copec and moi, for dreaming together with us and designing this cutting-edge vision, and obviously your input to make this a reality. The local communities for opening their doors to us and moving forward together. This is an achievement from all of us. The financial institutions that supported us, Sangro, CJR, for believing in this project from the start, working together with us to get it done. And all the other companies, firms that are here today that were also a part of this history. Looking towards the future, we do not need to choose between sustainability and reliability. We can have both. Chile and Latin America, with their abundance of resources and their large human capital, their ingenuity, they're in a position to become a leader of this transformation at the global level. Bess del Desierto is a demonstration that this can happen as well. And then this future of energy already began. And this is starting here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Carlos Uche for his remarks. We want to ask Alfredo Solar, manager for Chile and the South Cone for Atlas Renewable Energy, a pioneer and someone well known in this industry and who is proud to inaugurate the first Bess standalone plant in our country. Good morning. I want to start by thanking everyone that is here, that are here with us in this ceremony, which we have prepared with so much love and dedication. And then to the authorities, and especially the Ministry of Energy, the Maria Elena community, the industry representatives that are here with us, the national media, the Brazilian media, and also those who are participating through our streaming. And all of this has been fundamental so we can get to this day. From the desert, it is indeed a milestone for Atlas, for Chile and Latin America. I am so proud to tell you that this is just one of many mega projects we have in Chile in different development stages. All of them with storage, energy storage system, which reinforces the leadership, which as Atlas we have been able to materialize in the country. And also the support of important financial institutions who have seen in Atlas a safe company to move forward with the development of renewable energies and storage has been critical. And also large companies who have believed in us, providing us with their long-term energy supply. In that regard, I want to re-emphasize our thanks to Copec through MOAC, who will be supplied by Bess del Desierto, and also other companies such as Colbún, Codelco, and CAP, with whom we have signed key agreements in other projects for energy and storage, which we are going to be inaugurating in the near future. And I also want to highlight that Chile has one of the most advanced regulations when it comes to energy storage in the world. What has made it possible for these projects to start and be a reality. But there are still some regulatory aspects that needs to be addressed, and hopefully Supreme Decree 125 addresses them properly. Only then we will be able to facilitate and make it possible that and more initiatives use our clean resources and energy when it's needed the most. We cannot continue wasting energy as we have been doing in Chile. This curtailment not only impacts companies, but also impacts the industry and the country as a whole. And also in line with our commitment towards communities, I want to highlight the social actions we have undertaken in the Maria Elena municipality, where we are today. An example of this is the We Are Part of the Same Energy program, which we released just a few weeks ago, an initiative which seeks to promote inclusion, the development of technical skills in the energy sector as well. This joint effort, will benefit more than 100 neighbors, members of the community, not only providing technical training but also key skills for them to enter the workplace. On our side, as Atlas, we will continue doing everything we can so we can continue developing this kind of innovative projects with cutting edge technology, with first grade teams, backers, and support, and making the most of our regional resources, which are unique in the world. To close, I only want to thank Atlas for providing me the opportunity to lead this process in Chile and the South Cone, and of course to all of you for joining us here today in Maria Elena so we can inaugurate this great project. Have a very beautiful day. Okay, so thank you, Alfredo Solar, and we want to ask a company which is a fundamental part of this project and which will be supplied by all this clean energy after the agreement signed just 1 year ago, IMOAC, the company from COPEC, which is represented by Ania Torre, General Manager, who we ask to please come to the stage. Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome the authorities that are here with us, both national and local, everyone that is here with us today. It is a great honor for me to be here on behalf of COPEC MOAC. We are really proud of having believed and driven this idea a few years ago, where back then the energy market was different. The operational logic, for example, of these storage systems was not so well known. Access to funding was complex back then, and even regulation was not fully defined. But even then, together with Atlas, we had the conviction that this was what our grid needed. On one hand, to be able to supply our end customers in different times of the day with renewable energy, and on the other hand, also what the system needs. At the system level, this is a solution, as mentioned by Alfredo and Carlos, is going to be addressing transmission issues, allows us to use the potential we have for solar energy on the north of Chile, so we can use it in different times of the day. I would like to also tell you that most of this energy is going to be used through COPEC and MOAC to supply electrical public transportation, where more than 27 electrode terminals are going to be supplied through this energy. This 800 megawatts per hour will allow us to supply approximately 2,500 electrical buses, which during 1 year, each of them will be able to go through around the 69,000 Chile, which is like going through all of Chile 14 or 15 times. And these electrical buses are charged during the night, because during the day they are moving around the city, and at night they are charged. So this is part of closing this virtuous circle of innovation, efficiency, social well-being, what we are seeking to achieve as a country. The energy that is being produced and stored today in the north is going to go to these electrode terminals located in Antofagasta, in Santiago, and also Concepcion. Finally, on behalf of COPEC and MOAC, I also want to thank all the people who made this possible. The engineers, the workers, our lawyers, where we started all of these discussions together with Atlas, financing teams, the communities, the authorities, because this proves that all of us have a common idea, a common conviction, with a long-term perspective so we can have a more sustainable future. Our mission as COPEC will continue being COPEC MOAC to continue driving these initiatives which are here to change the way in which energy is produced, the way in which it's stored, and the way in which it is used with this much more sustainable vision. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you so much to Atlas. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Vania Toro, General Manager from COPEC MOAC. And we want to thank for being a key part of this energy milestone in Chile, and also give some room for those who contributed with this great storage technology, Sun Group. Sangro, we want to invite Mr. Changu, Vice Chairman from Sun Group, to please join us. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jaku from Sangro, a leading company focusing on the renewable energy industry. We have 5 business tracks: the PV, wind power, energy storage, electrification, and hydrogen. So it's my great honor to be here and to celebrate the completion ceremony of this 880 megawatt hour project. This project is very significant because it is not only a key milestone for Sangro in Latin America, but also a crucial step towards a more sustainable and efficient energy system for the country. Since the very beginning of the project, Sangro had participated by supplying the inverters for the PV phase, which was the largest COD in Chile at that time. And now we sincerely appreciate the opportunity to participate in the ESS phase. Through the project cooperation, we are deeply impressed by the construction quality, seamless coordination, and a strong commitment to safety. So it's a great job. Including this project, our cooperation with Atlas has reached a new level with a total capacity of 3 gigawatts in PV inverters and 2 gigawatt hour of Bess in this region. Taking this chance, I'd like to thank you for your great trust and support. Chile has become one of the top 5 countries in the world for battery energy storage systems. On the way from the airport here, we see the huge potential of this desert for country's energy system. Transmitting power across Chile's 4,000 kilometer length is very challenging, but energy storage can effectively enhance the stability of the power grid and reduce the energy loss in solar projects. Sangro regards Chile as a strategic market. Since our first entry in 2017, we have established a local team of over 90 employees to ensure local full life cycle support. Currently, we have achieved certain accomplishments together with our partners, supporting the 4 gigawatt of PV inverters and the 7 gigawatt hour of energy storage systems in this region. In the following, Sangro will consistently strengthen local capacity and continue to provide the best service and high-quality products with cutting-edge technologies. Together with our partners like Atlas, let's maximize our contribution to Chile's 2050 vision. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We want to thank those who have joined us in this first block. And before we give the floor to the authorities that are joining us today, we want to invite you to watch a brief video which gives us more details about Bess del Desierto. Please. We invite you to know Bess del Desierto, an renewable energy, Atlas Renewable Energy Storage System. Bess del Desierto is located in the PV plant Sol del Desierto in the Maria Elena municipality. It uses a standalone module where 320 batteries store energy independently and autonomously during the highest generation times of the day, reinjecting them into the system in the highest demand periods. Its construction, located more than 13 hectares, started in 2004 and so far has 262,980 hours of work. Over 1,300 discharges were performed without any damages nor any workplace accidents. We had a peak of 200 people working here between neighbors of the community, Maria Elena, Tocopilla, Calama. And on the different stages of the projects, we had 25% of female work staff performing a key role in the development of this initiative. This project has a capacity of 200 megawatts for 4 hours and also to reinject 880 megawatts per hour. Energy from Bess del Desierto is equivalent to supplying approximately 122,000 households per year in the north of Chile. Thanks to this infrastructure, Bess del Desierto is now one of the most important storage projects in Chile and Latin America. As part of our commitment in Atlas, we develop, build, fund and operate clean energy projects, positioning ourselves as one of the greatest solar energy producers in the region. Currently, we have solar energy operations at a large scale in the north and center of Chile, where we are seeking to supply the needs of the country by means of efficient, responsible, and sustainable generation. Atlas, driving new energy solutions. What a beautiful thing, right? Our country and the north of Chile continue reinforcing their leadership in the energy transition. Thank you so much to Bess del Desierto for that. Okay, now is the time to listen to the authorities that are here with us, and we are going to ask the most important authority here with us, the Minister of Energy, Mr. Diego Pardo. Please, Minister. Hi, how are you? So, Atlas. In the Greek mythology, the one who held the world. Now the Greeks were not dumb, okay? It was not that the world was going to fall into the void, but it kept the earth ongoing. It allowed us to have seasons for the day to last as long as it does. It allowed for the course of all events associated to our planet to keep going. Okay, just keep that idea. I will come back to it because it's important to understand how important storage technology is in keeping the course of our energy transition going. When I was sworn in the Ministry of Energy almost 3 years ago, I had a cycle of discussions with other energy ministers, industry representatives, to understand how to reorganize our priorities. Because evidently, this energy transition in our country has a huge potential for clean energy production, but the energy transition needed to be reorganized in terms of priorities, because the path we were following did not ensure are going to be able to meet not only the goals, which seems to be something that's just on paper, but also the expectations we have as a country regarding the sector and everything it can contribute to the economic development of our country. Because when we, okay, just to put it in very simple terms, when we talk about our country being stuck when it comes to productivity from almost a decade, the most simple way to improve productivity in our factors is with cleaner and simpler energy. It's a mechanical way of improving our productivity, if you will. And that is the main role energy has in supporting this country towards development, and we need to reorganize our priorities to make it so our transition was able to be achieved according to our expectations. As a country, there were three topics that came up. The first and foremost, we needed to reorganize cash flows from a sector that were completely disorganized, depressed. It was really difficult to ask energy companies to invest in new technologies when 40% of their cash flow was in a very blurry limbo of sorts. So there was an important, difficult process, especially for residential consumers, to simplify our financial system, especially for regulated consumers, and to actually tell it like it was. We needed to establish an stabilization program. The second topic was transmission, where we essentially had two main challenges in the center-south to catch up on everything that were set back during the pandemic. Construction cost increases, all cost increased, and so many projects were delayed in the center-south, causing micro bottlenecks, especially having very significant effects in the Maule-Ñuble area. This is something we are addressing with a specific law, the transition law, which was already published and it's in full implementation, and we expect that it's materialized this year, that we can start seeing better prices that reflect the capacity these areas have to move forward in electrification of their different productive sectors, particularly agricultural industry. And the third topic was storage. Storage, from its most fundamental level, is supporting technology towards solar generation, which is by far the cleanest, cheapest energy our country will always have because of the potential we have in the Atacama Desert. But the sun only shines 8 hours a day, and we need the technology to support that. And battery storage, short duration storage, is the ideal partner for that. And for that, we needed to do so much. We needed to start by approving the storage law. I had to finalize a law presented by the previous administration, the second process in the Senate, and it was necessary to develop a regulatory program that was as ambitious as it could be, which I want to start by thanking Alfredo particularly, but also the different representatives from the industry, because of their honesty and flexibility, which allowed us to organize this regulatory work. Because obviously when you try to do too many things at once, it doesn't work out and you need to prioritize. And when you prioritize, the first thing you need to do is to make it so short duration storage had clear cash flows. And for that, we needed to have a clear idea of payments per power, which was our first priority. We moved forward with this power regulation, which had been stagnant for so long, and which required a new approach, a more pragmatic approach maybe, compared to what the previous administration had. Having said that, it was necessary to shorten this critical path for the project, essentially in two areas. First, it was necessary to ensure clear access to fiscal lands, because most storage here, close to 2/3 of our storage capacity in our country. But if we put Atacama, Tarapacá together, practically 80% of our storage capacity is focused on what we know as the Atacama Desert, where the access to this fiscal state-owned lands is very important, and this access was excessively bureaucratic, and we need to simplify it, and so we did. And at the same time, it was also needed to simplify environmental processes, and which is why working together with the Environmental Assessment Service, we made it so hybrid or standalone projects do not have access typology to these systems, but technically they don't need to do this relevance or pertinence studies. And this is something we are going to finish with the publication of the rules for the environmental assessment system, which will exempt the less than 2 kilometer transmission lines from being in the evaluation system. We expected to essentially allow for the critical development path for the project to be significantly shortened, and we have been working on that all of this time. Funded, built, now we have to operate, and which is why a few weeks ago we have been having these public consultations on the Supreme Decree 125, which is the operation and coordination rule, something that the sector owed us regarding storage for a long time. And this public consultation is really important because it allows us to structure the discussions we have been having all these times. I think nobody will be surprised by the content of the Supreme Decree, but these discussions have to be structured, and I encourage all the participants and stakeholders in the industry to become a part of this public consultation, which we expect to wrap up and move forward in its publication. We are really coordinated so this can become a reality as soon as possible. And this has what does all of this regulatory work allows for? It allows for a goal of having a 2 gigawatt storage, which was something we set for 2030, is going to be achieved in January 2026. Now 950 megawatts are operating, and with the additional 200 we are going to go above 1 gigawatt as soon as this plant starts operating. And by January 2026 we are going to have, and this goal as well, we have gained 5 years, and we are going to continue moving forward. And also most likely we're even going to triple that capacity and have close to 6 storage gigawatts if we have everything we have in operation and development. This is fundamental. Why? Because again, as Atlas, it allows us to leverage all the potential our desert, our solar capacity has, by adding a flexibility our system needs from pricing, because we need to reduce our price differential between day and night, but also because it allows us to integrate other technologies, and stress control generates synthetic inertia, and all of these additional developments we are going to be asking from renewable energies in what's going to come up later. So congratulations to Atlas for helping us in this energy transition, and I've noticed that, funny enough, our lawyers have been congratulated so much, and this is the only project I know of where this is standalone and has its capacity fully contracted. So this requires, I think, from the financial point of view, from the legal point of view as well, an important effort. And I will be able to look at these agreements and learn from you. Congratulations, this is a great milestone, and let's continue working together. We are going to prepare this stage. Okay, please help me move this podium for a very important milestone we are going to go through. Thank you so much. Okay, we are going to officially inaugurate Bess del Desierto, so we are going to ask the authorities, Minister, please, Daphne, please, the Energy Remy. Okay, so please help us on the stage. Cucho, please join us. Cucho, no, oops, my bad. We haven't known each other for that long, and we are also going to ask. Okay, Irene Naranjo and Susana Kiduleo from CJR. So they can hold this ribbon because now we're going to be cutting the ribbon, and with that we are going to officially inaugurate Bess del Desierto. Okay, so please, we are going to move a bit to the side. Okay then. Okay, please hold it tight. Hold the ribbon. Okay. And there. So with this, we are now going to be starting the inauguration ceremony for Bess del Desierto. Please give a warm round of applause from all of us. We have a plate here. And for this plate, sorry, we want to ask the Maria Elena community, Cristian Montero, please, Sonia Menay, chair from Mujeres del Salitre, and also Zoila Miranda, chair of the Neighbors Association number 2, to please join us up here. And now it's the time to take photos. Okay, now is the photo time with the Maria Elena community. So we are going to now unveil this plate, which will be another part of this inauguration of Bess del Desierto. Please, together with the minister, okay, let's put it in the middle. Okay, the municipal administrator. Okay, so, and maybe take a part of this mantle that is covering this plaque, and we are going to be unveiling it. 1, 2, 3. Oops, it almost fell down. Okay, we can do it. There it is. So please, a warm round of applause. And with this, we are officially inaugurating Bess del Desierto, a very, very important milestone, the first Bess standalone large-scale plant in our country and the largest in Chile and the region. Thank you so much. And please, another warm round of applause. And we'd like to ask you to take your seats, and in the meantime, we are going to watch the institutional video again. For those who you were unable to watch it the first time, we are going to appreciate a second time while the authorities and the Maria Elena community take their seats.
Te invitamos a conocer Bess del Desierto, sistema de almacenamiento de Atlas Renewable Energy. Bess del Desierto se emplaza en la planta fotovoltaica Sol del Desierto, en la comuna de María Elena. Utiliza un módulo standalone donde las 320 baterías almacenan energía de forma independiente y autónoma en las horas de mayor generación, reinyectando al sistema en horarios de alta demanda. Su construcción, emplazada a más de 3 hectáreas, inició en 2024 y hasta ahora acumula 262.980 horas trabajadas. Se realizaron más de 1.300 descargas en todos los equipos y fundaciones sin registrar incidentes con daño de materiales ni accidentes laborales.
Tuvimos un pic de personal de 200 personas, entre habitantes de la comunidad de Marilena, de Tocopilla, de Calama.
En las diferentes etapas del proyecto, contamos con un 25% de mano de obra femenina, desempeñando un rol clave en el desarrollo de esta iniciativa.
El proyecto tiene una capacidad de 200 megawatts por 4 horas, lo que igual hace una reinserción de energía al sistema de 280 gigawatt hora por año.
La energía de Bess del Desierto equivale a abastecer aproximadamente 122.000 hogares del norte de Chile al año. Gracias a esta infraestructura, Bess del Desierto se convierte en uno de los proyectos de almacenamiento más importantes de Chile y Latinoamérica. Como parte de nuestro compromiso, en Atlas desarrollamos, construimos, financiamos y operamos proyectos de energía limpia, posicionándonos como uno de los mayores productores de energía solar en la región. Actualmente, contamos con operaciones de energía solar a gran escala en el norte y centro de Chile, donde buscamos responder a las necesidades del país a través de una generación eficiente, responsable y sostenible. Atlas, impulsando nuevas soluciones energéticas.
Muy bien, damas y caballeros, de esta forma estamos llegando.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of the ceremony. I want to sincerely thank all of you for joining us in such a special day for Atlas and all those people who have been part of this beautiful project in their different stages until getting to this day. The Bess del Desierto inauguration not only represents a technological progress but also a firm commitment towards sustainable development and energy independence for our region, delivering effective and technological solutions from Atlas to move forward towards 100% renewable metrics. We also want to thank those who are following us via streaming. So, and also the press as well, we want to tell them that we are going to be doing a press release just next to the stage. In the meantime, for our special guests, we ask you to continue enjoying and networking with a cocktail we have prepared for celebrating such an important milestone for Atlas, a renewable milestone for Chile, an energy transition for Latin America. Thank you so much and have a great day.